we knit a double crochet of the previous row before the chain. Stitches. Next we make a second double crochet in the arch. Then 2 chain stitches and again a double crochet in the arch. The next double crochets after the chain stitches of the previous row. We knit as we did in the previous row. We repeat 3 times. We have reached the chain stitches located under the armpit. Here we have 3. We make 2 double crochets in the second middle stitch. Next, 2 chain stitches and again here, 2 double crochets. With the yarn over, this gives us another arch under the armpit. Now we move to the front of the dress and knit the same way as we did at the beginning. Here we have 6 arches. Then here under the armpit, we will also make the same arch in the second stitch out of 3. Then we knit these 3 arches again. As a result, we end up with not 12 arches but 14, as 2 arches were added under the armpits. At the end of the row, we usually make 1 double crochet in the last stitch and move to the next row. We do not change color. 2 chain stitches to lift. And we turn the work. In the 8th row, we knit essentially the same as the 7th. That is to say, a double crochet. Here is the double crochet before the chain stitches. Next, here is the following double crochet. With a yarn over in the arch, 2 chain stitches, double crochet in the arch, and another double crochet in the next stitch after the chain stitches. Like this, we again have an arch above the previous arch. And we should now have 14 arches in this row. So we repeat until the end of the row. We have knitted 8 rows. At the end, we usually make 1 double crochet, but since we need to change color now, we leave the yellow thread, take the lilac one, and complete our double crochet in this row in the 8th. Here are our threads showing. This is not a big deal because we will later surround this with single crochets, so we will hide it all later. Do not pull too tight to ensure that our fabric does not get drawn in like this. We knit 2 chain stitches to lift and move to the 9th row. The 9th row, we will knit the same way we knitted the previous 8th row. Now we will knit 2 rows. This results in the 9th and 10th rows, just as we did for the 8th row. In the 11th, we change color and similarly, we will knit the 11th and 12th rows in the same manner. In the 13th, we change color and will knit a little differently. I also wanted to mention here, when we knitted the new arch under the arm. You may have different measurements, and here, instead of 3 chain stitches under the arm, you can knit more. Or, on the contrary, you might not add any at all. So, we knit 4 rows, just changing color. We finish the 12th row. At the end we knit the double crochet, as we always do at the end of each row. And we are now changing the yarn color to lilac, tying off this stitch, not cutting the yellow. 2 chain stitches and we move on to the 13th row, the 13th row. We yarn over, knit 1 double crochet. This is the double crochet that comes before the chain stitches. Next, 2 double crochets in the arch. In this row, we are already making increases. then 2 chain stitches, again 2 double crochets in the arch. And 1 double crochet into this stitch that comes after the chain stitches. This way, we knitted our first arch and added 2 more stitches. We will repeat this 14 times. We finish the 13th row. At the end of the row, as usual, a double crochet into the last stitch of the previous row, 2 chain stitches to rise, and we move on to the 14th row. So friends, we will continue knitting in the same way. All subsequent rows I will knit in the same way as I did for this 13th row. That is, here we knit 3 double crochets before the chain stitches and 3 double crochets after the chain stitches. This way, I repeated it 5 more rows, that is, from the 14th to the 18th row inclusive. And accordingly, after every 2 rows I changed the yarn color. If you find the width insufficient and need to expand the fabric, you can add more double crochets. In the arch, you can also knit 2 double crochets, 2 chain stitches, 2 double crochets. And into these double crochets, you can add 1 more stitch here. Well, I believe you can figure out how to make that increase. That's it, and we are knitting to the desired length of the dress. So, I finished all those rows. I have made 18 rows. We are trying it on the doll or on the child for length. And now I have enough, 18 rows. At the end, I crocheted 1 double crochet as usual, and we will be closing our work. But we are in no rush to cut the yarn, because next, we will be edging this little flap. With single crochets, and right away, we will be hiding those ends. And also on this side. On the left, I will be making buttonholes. Here we will sew on the buttons, and here we will immediately crochet the buttonholes. I have 4 buttons, and now I will show you how we will do this. We lay out our buttons, roughly checking the distance between them. And I won't cut this yellow yarn just yet. I will incorporate it right away, and then I will cut it and secure it with a needle. So, we edge this side with single crochets. Here, we just need to ensure that the edge looks nice. So on the yellow stripe, I will have the first button. Here is my yellow yarn. I incorporate it right away. Well, about this spot, I start to crochet the first loop for the button. So, we crochet a single crochet. Next, we crochet chain stitches for our buttonhole. We check the size of our button. If the button is bigger, then accordingly, the number of stitches you will have will be larger. I will crochet 7 chain stitches loosely. Approximately with the same tension, we will crochet the other stitches for the button. So that our loops look the same, we crochet it and continue with a slip stitch. Here at the front, I usually pick up this half loop and that one. We make a slip stitch. We joined, and then we crochet several single crochets. Here is what the loop looks like. We check that our button fits well into this loop. But it usually goes in with a bit of a struggle. Then these loops stretch a little, and it works well and nothing pops out. That is, I make it so that it just barely passes. Here it goes. Because these loops eventually stretch over time. If you make it very loose, they will then pop out, That's it, our button goes through. So it fits all the loops. Then we look at what distance to knit the next loop. This here is where we have the button. It is located somewhere around here. We can even look at the pattern. We will knit the next loop somewhere around this spot. That is, while we are crocheting single crochet stitches, catching and incorporating these floats as we go, we keep knitting like this until the end of the row. We will end up with 4 loops. This is how it should roughly turn out. I have about 6 single crochet stitches crocheted at the bottom, and 2 at the top before the loops start. That's it, we have finished here. We make 1 chain stitch, we pull the yarn and hide it. All these little threads that we incorporated. We also hide in the fabric with a needle, so we have finished one side. Now, with the same yarn, we will crochet single crochet stitches around this side, and then we will also hide all the threads. That's it, friends. We have finished the dress. I have hidden all the yarn ends and sewn on the buttons. This is how it turns out. The length of the dress is about 13 centimeters. Now, let's crochet a headband. I have made 56 chain stitches. This is approximately the circumference of the doll's head. That is, we are making a chain, placing it against the doll's head and making sure it fits well, so we have knitted. I have 56. We make air chains and connect them into a circle with a slip stitch. Next, we make 2 air chains for lifting. And now we crochet 1 double crochet in each stitch. These 2 air chains for lifting are included in the total number of stitches. So, we need to crochet 55 double crochets. And this will be the 56th double crochet we have finished. Now, we make a slip stitch into the first double crochet we made. 2 air chains for lifting, and we start the second row with double crochets. This is our first double crochet. Now we crochet the second double crochet here, and also in this. There should be 56 double crochets in this row, including these lifting chains. A slip stitch into the first double crochet of this row. A chain stitch, we pull the yarn and hide it. We also hide this tail using a needle. Here's the headband we got. And for decoration, we still need to crochet a bow and attach it here. We will crochet the bow in lilac color. So, we make 10 air chains plus 2 air chains for lifting. And now we will crochet the first double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, right here. We crochet a double crochet. After this we crochet 8 more double crochets, since we have already crocheted 2 double crochets. The lifting chains are included in the total number of stitches. We crochet 8 more. We have finished. We move on to the second row. We make 2 air chains for lifting. Turn the work. This is our first double crochet. In this row we need to crochet 9 more double crochets so that we have 10 double crochets in total, including the lifting chains. So this is our first double crochet, therefore we will crochet the second one here. Not in the air chain but a little further. I crocheted the 10th double crochet in the air chain of the previous row. We make 2 air loops for lifting, turn the work, and start knitting with double crochets. The first stitch we knit not under the air stitch, but right here. The last stitch we crochet to the first stitch of the previous row. Next, from the 3rd to the 7th row, we knit straight with 10 double crochets in each row. This means we need to knit 5 rows. We have knitted. Then we knit 1 air stitch. Now we will crochet the entire fabric with single crochets. In the corners, we will crochet 3 single crochets. After that, we hide the thread. We have reached the start of our edging. Now we make a slip stitch into the first crocheted single crochet. 1 air stitch. We pull the thread, cut it and hide it. Done. Now we will fold this fabric in such a way that the middle is kind of at the back. Like this, we fold it to form a bow. I pulled a similar thread through the needle, though you can. Probably I would take yellow, but I still preferred it in one color, and we made a knot. Now, from the back, I will slightly poke the needle, hide the knot, and secure it to our bow a bit. We passed through a couple of times. Now we can wrap this bow with the thread. And now we will make a knot at the back, fixed. Now this bow can be safely sewn on. I stitched it a bit to the left like this. This is the set we have created. I have one more point. I noticed that my yellow thread is a bit thinner than the lilac tying. Although it's the same length, the same thread, just in different colors. But I heard that girls said that this can happen, it happens to them too. That my lilac color is a bit thicker. But this is not really the point. Everything turned out well. Here is such a set. I hope everything worked out for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. And I hope you dress not only dolls and figures but also your daughters, granddaughters, in general, your girls. Since this dress can be knitted even for an adult person. Just make increases and that's basically it. I will be wrapping up now. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we will meet again very soon in my next video.